All righty, thanks for tuning in once again. It's Ishmael Sistrunk with the St. Louis American and STLamerican.com here today with Palmer Alexander III, our Rams Roundup correspondent, and we are here with our Rams Roundup. Palmer, this week, or last week I should say, St. Louis Rams played the Philadelphia Eagles. It was really an interesting tale of two halves. The Rams ended up coming up short in that game.
Right.
Almost pulled a miraculous comeback. What were your thoughts about that game? Break that game down for us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was a frustrating football game to watch. They get down, they had the bad punt. Then you had the two field goals being down 13-0. I mean, then Philadelphia turns the ball over, and then the Rams are unable to execute. And it just a myriad of errors, for the Rams, and I guess that's what made the game frustrating to watch. But then they had that furious comeback. Okay, in the second half, even though they were down 34-7, I still felt like they could come back because the Eagles' defense isn't that good. And the Rams were able to come back. They got a big stop from the defense, probably their biggest stop of the game, and then, as usual, something tends to happen to the St. Louis Rams where they end up falling short of a victory, another winnable game. I mean, they got the Monday night game coming up, and they are they should be 3-1, but they 1-3.
So you're telling me, hold on, I got to call you out when I smell some, what'd you say, the last week, I forget what you said, but
fecal matter.
So you're telling me when the Rams were down, what was it, 34-7, you sat there and you thought, okay, the Rams can come back and pull this one out.
I sat on my couch. I was at my cousin's house, and I was on probably my fourth, the fifth, the sixth Budweiser.
That explains.
So yeah, I'm just sitting calmly, and everybody is waiting. I mean, yeah, I got a lot of my yelling out of the way the first two quarters, and I'm thinking what the hell? I mean, I just talk a smack anyway. I said, hey, they got a chance of coming back, and then I said maybe they will. But I'll tell you something though, Austin Davis impressed me. He impressed a lot of people with the way that he played. I'm telling you, those throws that he was making in that game, Sam Bradford does not make those throws. Sam Bradford, there's a stark difference when you look at the two players and you look how they fit into Brian Schottenheimer's offense. Notice I didn't criticize Brian Schottenheimer.
Not yet. We just started the show. No, you're right. Austin Davis, 29 for 49, 375 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The more interesting stat for me, they talked about Davis entered the game as the most accurate passer in the league. And then started off something like 1 for 7 or 1 for 8. But when you looked at a lot of those passes, they were drops. And this is what happens to the Rams week in and week out. If there's one reason to me why they keep losing, is they keep dropping passes. We saw Jared Cook, which he's one of the leading receivers on the team, but he drops passes every single game.
Yeah.
We saw Austin Pettis drop 2 passes right in his hands. We saw Brian Quick drop a couple, which Brian Quick, again, I think he is the leading receiver. He's playing much better than he has, but we see him dropping a lot of balls, especially when he has to leave his feet. He's a big receiver. They want to be able to toss it up, have him go catch him, and he either mistimes his jumps or the ball just goes through his hands. So Pettis, even though, again, he was 29 for 49, I would say, and I haven't looked at the official drop stats, but I would say at least 8 of those passes should have been caught. They hit receivers in the hands and the chest, but they didn't reel them in.
Yeah, I mean, the pass Jared Cook dropped, no excuse for dropping that. The 2 passes that Pettis dropped, I mean, those were killers. They were just absolute killers. I mean, because the Rams, had the Eagles reeling. I mean, they was. And think about it, as aggressively as they were looking to push the ball down the field, you kind of feel like this is going to be one of those games that the Rams pull out. Maybe this give them some momentum heading to this Monday night game against the 49ers. But, I mean, that's a terrible loss. I mean, you had 10 penalties. The offensive line was awful. I mean, they stood tall towards the end, but near the beginning of the game. I mean, Jake Long is awful. Jake Long is absolutely awful. I mean, when you got a left tackle with zero athleticism, zero athleticism, and he can't even go out and block in space. He can't even block a linebacker. When you let a linebacker push you into another blocker, and then you get Roger Saffold trailing to the play, his job is to block the safety, but he ended up trying to help Jake Long block one person. It's like you don't need two offensive linemen to block one damn linebacker, not even Lawrence Taylor. But I just, those little things are the reason why the Rams are where they are. I mean, Joe Barksdale, the Rams went dumpster diving to get him, okay? So normally if you get, let's say if you got a VCR out the dumpster, it may work for a little while, but when they eat up that Beverly Hills Cop VHS tape, then you're like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So they have to do a better job of evaluating talent. What makes them any different from Spagnuolo or Scott Linehan? Because they're still doing a terrible job evaluating talent. I mean, you got two guys coming off of ACL. You putting all your money in the table. One is done for the rest of the year, and the other one's gonna get your quarterback killed. And then you draft Greg Robinson. Don't even play him.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, again, I'd rather they wait and play him when he's ready, than rush him in there. Tavon Austin, he's a guy coming off an injury. He really didn't make much of an impact in the game. Do you think that's because of the injury, or?
Tavon's biggest problem is he needs to start taking the ball up the field. All of this cute stuff, running parallel with the sideline and, doing a little skip,
But that's what he does. That's why they drafted him. That's why he was so successful in college. He was a little quick guy who can move.
Yeah.
So that's why they got him.
Yeah, but he hasn't gotten the message that you need to run up. Just run at somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because he has the ability to change direction. If he runs directly towards you, you have no idea where he's going. You don't know how to stop him. You just hope that he may just fall into your arms. But if he's running sideways, he's at a disadvantage because now he is actually funneling himself towards the sideline and making himself easier to tackle and to bring down. It just, like I say, it's like I don't see how they not recognizing that. I don't see how they're not recognizing that because every time he gets the ball, he's running parallel with the sideline. I don't understand why he's doing that. Why don't you just take what's in front of you?
I think that's the first time I heard you talk about Tavon Austin without saying, give him the ball, give him the ball. So we're seeing, again, after a loss, Angry Palmer comes out next week. We may see. But so what about the running game? We saw Benny Cunningham, 7 carries, 47 yards. Zach Stacy, 11 for 42. Talked about athleticism or the lack thereof on the line on long, but Austin Davis had 3 rushes, 30 yards, looked pretty agile. He had one play where he made the bad slide where he slid too early. He could have ran out of bounds, or he could have, but he looked like a more athletic quarterback than I think some people expect. Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, Marshall Faulk pointed that out in the preseason. And I mean, and listen, Marshall Faulk has a great eye for talent. He knows what everybody's job is. The touchdown pass to Kenny Britt was even more impressive because, the line broke down and he had enough presence about himself while he was rolling out. Normally when you see a right-handed quarterback roll outside, normally when he throws the ball, it's going out of bounds. But he had enough momentum and he had enough control of himself to throw the ball down the field where Kenny Britt can make a play. And those are the things that you want from your quarterback. The Rams didn't do that a lot with Sam Bradford. Let these athletes make a play. Throw a ball up there. Throw those 50-50 balls. Let's see if you can come down with it. If not a touchdown, maybe a pass interference. So it was great to see. Very encouraging. Very encouraging what you saw at Austin Davis.
Okay, Ray Armstrong got the boot, for dumb penalties pretty much is the reason everybody's accepted. The team, you talked about it, continues to rack up penalties. The defense, they gave up 34 points or 34 points total in that game. How can the defense rebound and what can they do better?
I mean, they have to, I keep preaching this, stay in discipline, stay in your real lanes. They whiffing on tackles. Kendall Langford had a chance to, drop McCoy in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. He got his hand on his jersey and then let him get away. I mean, McCoy has been struggling running the football these last 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, then they let him break off a big run and, let him gain some confidence and momentum. I mean, Darius Sproles get a carry. You expect, Larry Nice to make the tackle. What he does, he just run right through him like he wasn't even there. So, I mean, these guys got to do better. And LaMarcus Joyner, he was offsides in that blitz, and I just look at the young man, and you really like what he brings to the table. But at the same time, I mean, he's really have some difficulties, just trying to be a little bit more patient. Hopefully the game will slow down a little bit for him, and he kind of start to round out into form. I mean, Janoris Jenkins, I don't know how you let Cooper just out-muscle you in the end zone. I mean, he's poor at timing his leaps. He doesn't look back for the ball. I mean, they nickname him Jackrabbit. I mean, you got to make some plays. If you can't catch the ball, prevent the guy from catching the ball without drawing a penalty, and he's pretty poor at doing that.
All right, Rams got the 49ers coming up. We talked about that Monday Night Football, which you may not expect the Rams to be a featured, highlighted team on Monday Night Football, but they are a divisional game, 49ers. Which they have some issues of their own. A lot of talk about Harbaugh, maybe being run out of town. The players don't like him. Are the 49ers vulnerable? Do the Rams have a chance, or are we going to see the same issues plague them in this matchup?
I mean, sometimes the Rams, it seems like when they get into division play, it just seems like they're a little bit more focused. They play a little bit better. I don't understand why, because you need to play that way every week. But, I mean, this is a toss-up game, but I really cannot, good faith, pick the Rams to win because they really haven't done enough, I think, to allow people to feel confident that they can pull out a game. I mean, they get a lot of these penalties. A lot of them are, as I say, perception penalties because they have a reputation for being an undisciplined team. And so, I think when they flash that stat, it's like in the Philly game, they had like 7 penalties before the Eagles even had none. So, that disparity in penalties play a big role. And then I know it's going to be a little bit more of an edge than playing on Monday night. And, have some of the members of the Greatest Show on Turf in the building as well. So, there may be some jitters because, listen, there's a lot of unrest with the fans. They don't know if the Rams going to be here in St. Louis after the Super Bowl. So, it's a lot. Going on right now. But the best thing those guys can do is win a football game and maybe even win one convincingly.
Yeah, and I think that the Rams will pull out a victory, and on paper they shouldn't. 49ers are the favorite team. 49ers are the stronger team, but I think, like I said, the Greatest Show on Turf will be in the building. Should be a lot of fan excitement. The 49ers, I think, are reeling a little bit. There's some disarray or unrest in the clubhouse, and I think that'll affect them. And the Rams, they will be at home. There will be a packed dome, and I think that the end of that game, because you said you thought the Rams could win, I almost turned the game off.
Okay.
But before that run, I was this close to turning it off, and really the fact that I have to do the Rams Roundup is probably the only reason that I kept the game.
The truth set you free, my brother. The truth set you free.
When they had watched it, and they came back and had a nice run, so I think that gives Austin Davis a lot of confidence. I think that gives the offense a lot of confidence. And the defense, we've shown over the past couple of years that against running quarterbacks, Colin Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, against those type of guys, they're able to do better than most teams. They're able to bottle them up. Now, we haven't got a lot of pressure on the quarterback this season so far, so we'll see. No sacks, for a lot of guys. So we will see, but I'm going to pick the Rams to win, to come out with the upset on Monday night. I'm going to say 24-21 Rams win.
I think the way that they moving the ball, it's going to be a 31-28 type of ball game. I think they're going to get the 49ers out there. They're going to make some plays, but I think the 49ers are going to do something different, just like the Eagles did. And you saw the adjustment with Austin Davis, and the quicker he makes the adjustment against the 49ers, it may work better in the Rams' favor. So, but again, he's exciting to watch. He's probably one of the best things that has happened to this team in a long while, especially at the quarterback position. Let's see if they can string something together.
Yeah, and we got to go back. We both said, hey, the Rams, we beat the Rams up for not taking a quarterback, for this and that. But it looks like they may have that guy in Austin Davis. Still early in the season, but he definitely looks the part so far. So
well, he gonna be parts and pieces if the offensive line don't get together. You got to get the 10 man. You got to get him some more. You got to get the 10 man some more. He need to watch Wiz because Nipsey Russell was a different character once he got that all in him.
So just to make it final, you said you actually picking the 49ers.
Yeah, I cannot believe I'm doing it, but 31-28.
All right, 31-28. I'm taking the Rams 24-21. So we'll go back next week and we'll see anything else that you want to add before we sign off.
No, just keep following us at the St. Louis American. We try to bring you the best coverage possible.
Absolutely. So once again, I'm Ishmael Sistrunk here with Palmer Alexander III from the St. Louis American and SCLAmerican.com. And this is the Rams Roundup. Thanks for watching.